Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Adam. I'm here with BringItDon. Let's go talk to this guy. Looks like he is a trader. Sweet. He's got some gasoline. Trade him some of that stuff for it, and then I'll pay for the rest. Let's get rid of that as well. Alright. Oh yeah, this episode's going to be just me talking to the people around Fogelevka. It's not going to be super exciting. So yeah, just a heads up. A waifus young man of around 25 comes near you and slaps on his giant rucksack. This makes the things inside the pack move to one side. The kid almost falls over due to the weight shift. Gosh darn pack. Hey dude, Trader Gusev at your service. Want to help my bag lose some weight? Buy something. Low prices, great quality. You'll love it, I tells you. So how do you feel about carrying so much stuff to Fogelevka? Worth the effort? The man knocks himself on the forehead. Heh, that's why I'm the merchant and you're the buyer, my friend. In Fogelevka, there's less merchants, so more people buy from me. Oh, so that's how it is. First I'd like to ask you some questions. Questions? Okay, sure, let's talk. Where are you from? I'm not from around here. Mountain Pass of Woes is my true home. I work here as a trader for half a year, then I live at my true home for the money I earned. With the money I earned? Also for half a year. Working for half a year to then rest for the same amount of time? Beautiful. What can you tell me about Fogelevka? Cool place, people are great, girls are pretty, nature's almost as good as in my home, the Mountain Pass of Woes. Also, almost no bandits. That's always good. You make it sound amazing. Where do you get your wares from? I buy them from old folks. I find them, I get them from stalkers, and even from colleagues who sometimes have so much wares they can't carry them to Paragon. Anywhere and everywhere, huh? Care to share some rumors with me? I heard of a potion that makes a man completely irresistible. People of the Waste often are a grim, heavy-drinking, violent lot. Such a potion would really come in handy when dealing with them. Okay, and that's all he has to say. Let's talk to this guy since he's out here on the street. Ooh, I'm gonna take those. Now I only need 3 more fangs. Oh, yeah, I forgot about these. I can trade him those and then pay for the rest. A tall blonde man with a thin, wrinkleless face looks at you with a sharp, eagle-like stare and takes his backpack off his shoulders. Hey, wanna buy something? He sounds like the merchant from Resident Evil 4. Nope, but I'd ask you some questions. Sure, fine. What did you want to know? Tell me about yourself if it's not a huge secret. My name is Vladimir, and I'm the local hunter and fisherman. My wife is the village herbalist. One could say that nature feeds us, and we help her out in our own way by trying not to litter. The planet has suffered through enough. Ain't that the truth? Well, how's life in the village? All's well? If you're no fool and you love to work, life in Fogelevka is pretty grand. People are handy, their grounds are fertile. We're not known as widely as Ultranoye, but still we're a good place to live in. Well, that's good. Care to give me some advice? Most of my life I spent on my feet. I visited many places, from the Kibini Mountains to the northwestern Caucasus to Tian Shan. I can't really name all the places, but I can give you some advice. Ooh, +10 to survival. The man tells you about some of the ways you can light a fire, shares this information on some healing herbs and helpful knickknacks. Most of the tales intermix with funny stories and interesting tales. By the end of the chat, you feel like you really learned something. Oof, now that was interesting. Heard any city rumors? Heard that slaves and drugs go through the border fortress. No hard evidence, though. Just word of mouth. Okay, well, we're done talking to him. Let's go in here and see what this is all about. Then we'll go into this other building. Okay, take that. Ooh, some money. Take that. Those are usually worth a decent amount of rubles, especially for their weight. Take the bandana. Alright, can't get back there. Probably can't sneak in there right now. Let's see what this guy has to say. Yeah, nothing really worth having. A hardy-looking man with graying hair livens up as you approach. He looks at you with an easygoing smile stuck on his lips. Welcome to Fogelevka. What would you like? Drinks? Some food? Maybe a bed? Drink and food sounds right down my alley. What's the cost of living here? It's Wasteland standard. 50 rubles for a room, price of food included. Want it? Let's take one step back. I want to ask you a couple of more questions. Well, why not chat for a bit? I don't get a lot of work these days. What can you tell me about Fogelevka? I call him Quiet Village. The only thing worth notice around here is the shaking forest. Not really a sight for tourists, but still. Apart from that place, see for yourself, there's really nothing of note. What's going on in the wastes? I heard that a real-life mutant circus placed tents near that crashed plane. I'd love to visit the place. Maybe one day I'll be able to. Maybe so. Have you heard any good rumors? Heard that a tavern critic called Ramses the Cook walks around the wastes, writing articles about the quality of local food for a huge Trudogradian printing house. I wish he'd visit my establishment one day. I bet that would get me more customers. Otherwise, I have to close the joint in a few years. Don't worry about such things. Do you get a lot of people staying here? Not really. Some days, though, caravans stop here. That makes me most of my money. Sometimes they pay me enough to last a whole month. But apart from them, nah. Let's not talk about the sad stuff. Okay, I would expect he would have more... Oh, I can go in through the back, I bet. But why... I don't know. Let's sneak in through the back. Oops. Oh, wait, who's this guy? Oh, there's a guy over here. Who are you? A black-haired man with an annoyed, tired look muses about something. He senses your presence. He turns to you with a broad smile that only lasts a second before he sighs grievously and lapses back into musing. Oh, I thought for a second it was my... Petruka? Petruka? Hello, traveler. What's brought you here? Who's this Petruka? I don't know what to say. I'm gonna say Petruka. Mate, will you tell me? The man sighs heavily. What about him? Petruka was my partner. We shared debt-collecting tasks. Our bosses in the independent Wasteland Bank thought we were brothers. He was easygoing and agile, and learnt the important facts of the debtor. Then I would come in and arrest the debtor or confiscate his property. Well, or execute him depending on the situation. And now Petruka is gone. It was so stupid. We were combing the area around Fogelevka, searching for gangster Chigurov, who got under the skin of our bosses, and then Scolias. A whole cloud of Scolias, who must have walked over their underground nest. We fled in panic. I reached Fogelevka in a single breath. Petruka died there. And I still hear his death cries behind my back. Don't sting me in the face. No. No, I'll never get my hands on Chigurov. Not unless some adventurer lends a hand. Someone like you. Explain it properly, then we'll see. Look, there's a man called Chigurov. A gangster. He robbed a courier of a bank I work for and fled with the money. I can't find him. I need someone to replace my late partner and talk to 3 people who know for sure where he's hiding. And tell me. I'll take care of the rest. How does that sound? I could give it a try. Give me the details. In a nutshell, after robbing the courier, Chigurov himself seemed to disappear off the face of the earth. But his sidekicks don't bother. Before he perished, my Petruka learned of 3 of them. This butthole thief's ex-girlfriend, Kalindra the Gypsy, who lives on a ship in Paragon. Her job has something to do with the local dog attraction. His old partner, Richard the Serb, has turned into a hermit. He must now live somewhere close to the place people call the site of the accident. Okay. One of his old gang members, a gangster called Mr. Matthew, bides his time in the old castle in the mountain pass of Woes. Talk to them, make them tell you all they know, and I'll try to make a picture. And you'll get 1,000 rubles for it. Petruka's share in this difficult assignment. Okay, I'll help you. Great, give me your map. The man examines your map to make sure all the points of interest are marked there, and then gives it back to you. But remember, I need you to talk to all 3 of them. Chigorov's not an idiot to just tell about his hiding place to people he's not even connected to. But if we compare the information, we might stumble upon something interesting. Consider it done. Let's ask some other questions. Okay, mate, ask. Who are you actually? I won't tell you my name, sorry. You can call me the lawyer. I'll keep it in mind. What do you do? I'm a debt collector for the Independent Wasteland Bank. It's a financial organization in Trudograd. They have no plans of expanding here, as these places are too wild for setting up any commercial activity. And who will take out loans here anyway? Stalkers? Beetroot farmers? Prostitutes? What can you tell me about this place? Backwaters. Actually, it's more decent than Northern Lands or the Dead City, but it's not much in terms of rating. Trust me. Excuse me. Heard any rumors? Most settlements in these backwaters are connected. For example, Krasno has its eyes on Otranoye and is in constant conflict with Paragon. And there's this one farm surrounded by gangster fortifications, yet ignored by all factions. There's a whole family living there. It's called Safe Journey. My late partner and I once paid it a visit, totally by accident. The family were in Cloud 9 when they got a chance to trade. I think you'll be welcome there too. Okay. Cool. Well, I got another quest. Sitting in front of you is a beefy middle-aged man with a mustache. He is staring into space with a smile, slowly sipping beer from a sweaty bottle. As the man turns to you, making a strange welcome gesture, you notice that his arms are covered with numerous woven bracelets and intricate patterns. Hello, traveler. Stay a while and listen. Okay, Deckard Cain. Perhaps the wisdom of the shaman Baljid Tugalov and his ghost army will illuminate your path with a new meaning, in your search with a new hope. Well, I'm always happy to chat, buddy, because that's what you had in mind, right? Ah, that's what it is. And here I thought you were one of my clients. What do you want, friend? Oh yeah, the guy that was sleeping in Krasno. I'm here to talk about your sleepy client from Krasno, Rudolph, who can't seem to wake up. The fake shaman takes off his cap and smooths his greasy hair. He seems worried. You're right. He is a client of mine. The lucid dream connoisseur and the biggest buyer of sleep potions in all the Wasteland. It was hard to keep up with him. He buys more potions than I can make. So you're saying he can't wake up? Probably took too much, the fool. You need to help him unless you want to share his sorry lot. The man waves at you dismissively. His forehead is wrinkled. He's obviously thinking about something. Crap. This is a screw-up of biblical proportions. Well, in theory, the effects of my sleep potion can be stopped by an antidote of sorts, but I've never made one myself because I never needed to. And most importantly, right now, I don't have the required chemicals. Oh, I got it. Listen, there's a herbal healer who lives right here in Fogelevka. She knows the recipes for all my potions. When I have the money, I buy all my ingredients from her. Tell her about the situation. Maybe she'll be able to whip something up to cure poor old Rudolph. Alright, we'll go look for the herbal healer and ask for her help. Yeah, you do that. She lives right here in the village with her husband. If you manage to cure the poor guy, let me know. Let's talk about something else. You don't even look like a shaman. Bah, the skinny bracelets are more than enough. At the end of the day, it's more important to understand the human psychology, needs and whatnot, and the rest will follow. What is it that you sell to your clients, and can I become one of them? For a couple seconds, the man's face turns really stern. Watch it. I'll get offended if you call me a drug dealer. I'm selling substances, but not the ones that create a buzz, addiction, and other pleasures of the flesh. I am selling substances that make you see things, other worlds, lucid dreams. There's so many people in this world that aren't too pleased with our current reality. I'll make all these potions for them, from the various mushrooms and herbs known to me, so that their lives become fun again. However, I myself am not a gardener or a herb healer, so I buy my ingredients from the more competent people. And at this moment, I'm out of stock. But do you even need hallucinogenics? I feel like you're doing quite alright for yourself in this world. Well, even people like me need a distraction once in a while. Where are you from? Are you from this village? Oh, buddy. Just thinking about my journey from that place is making me feel uneasy. That's such a long way to travel on foot. I'm from the northeastern region, from a remote village. My father was a faith healer. I've learned all the secrets of the herbs from him. So even though I'm not a shaman, my stuff is always authentic. Well, when I have the product, that is. Because right now I don't. You've walked a long way to get here. Respect. What do you do for a living, I mean? Sorry, there's a pause there. What do you do? For a living, I mean. When I'm out of raw materials and chemicals needed for making potions that make me famous among psychedelics fans, I'm willing to do any kind of physical work I can find. Like I can chop some wood, or build a shed, fix a generator. These are the jobs I like. Well, you're quite handy. Do you know any good rumors from around here? Here in the Waste, there are people who are devoted to such ghastly creatures that even I, a man that is not religious at all, afraid to mention them in vain. I feel like there should be an is or somewhere. Anyway, and yet, think about it. These nightmarish cults didn't all just appear overnight. They were always here, hiding in the shadows of the developed socialism since the times when people had to share this earth with the unimaginable abominations that came from the ice stars. Easy there, partner. Alright. So I need to talk to the herb healer, which is hard to say because you look at it, it looks like it says herb healer. That's what you want to say, but it's herb healer. I have a lot of trouble saying that. Herb healer. Oh yeah, let's try and sneak in through the back here. Do the old quick save. No? I can't interact with this door. Alright, well, I gave it my best shot. So we've been in here. Let's go over here. Where'd that woman go? There she is. She's probably the herb healer. Right? Nope, maybe not. She just has milk and a sweet roll. The woman wearing a colorful headscarf looks at you with a friendly gaze. Although her hands look like they went through years of heavy labor, her face is young and her eyes are lively and bright. Hello there, dear guest. What brings you here? If it is trade, then I'm sorry, for we have nothing to sell this year. If you're here for a talk, better find the man of the house. So your husband is the head of the household? A patriarch? Oh no, it's just that everyone had his or her role. My husband meets guests, talks to them, works around the house. I cook, clean, and tend to the animals. I also teach our girl the science that I know. All of us have our duties and our special places. Like a girl has her part of the room, or like Constantine, who has this special closet he doesn't let anyone look into. See? Well, that's interesting. Okay. Let us change it. But if you have something serious in your mind, better talk to the man of the house. Let's ask some questions. Please, ask whatever you want to. Just make it quick. Tell me about yourself. Well, I was born in the Veligurskoye village up north. When I was 20, I met Constantine. He was a religious man, a man of tradition. He courted me, he asked my parents for my hand, he married me. Once we had a child, we left my parents' home and traveled here to Fogelevka. What a story. What can you tell me about this place? Fogelevka is like a paradise for our family. It's so free here. So much space, almost no radiation. The air is so fresh. Makes my soul dance. Well, that's optimistic. What do you do around here? I tend to the house and the animals. Some years ago, we gathered more vegetables than we needed to survive, so I sold some. Became a true merchant lady, too. Nowadays, I don't have much to sell. Keeping busy is a good thing. Heard any good rumors? A chatty tongue is friend to the devil and enemy to God. I don't know any hearsay, and I never gossip. That's too bad. Alright, well, that was fun. Glad we talked. Who are you? This must be the daughter? You see a young girl wearing a traditional headscarf. She smiles politely. Hello, comrade. You're very polite, you know that? The girl's face turns red from the compliment. She looks down and starts playing with the tip of her braid. That is good, right? Father says it's good. He always tells me that the path of the righteous is beset on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. But the only way to fight it is to not be like those who are evil, to be modest, kind, and polite to all. He knows that because long ago he himself was an evil man, but he stopped, so me and my mom would be happy. Who is your dad then? The girl looks at you apologetically and shrugs. I don't know such things. He never told me. Now, let's change the subject. I would like to ask you some simple questions. Can I? The girl goes all red in the face but nods. Well, alright. What can you tell me about your family and about yourself? Father brought us here when Grandma and Grandpa couldn't keep us in their tiny home any longer. He repaired this house. Everything we got here is thanks to him. Oh, so you're a daddy's girl. Sure thing. Let's see. How do you feel about the village life? It's nice out here. When I was a child, it got a bit boring, but in time I started liking the place. Fogelevka is much better than the noisy Krasno, or sad little Otranoye, or the dangerous Paragon. Glad to hear it. What can you tell me about the geopolitical situation surrounding this region? Alright, that sounded made up. I don't even know what to say. Maybe Father will? I heard any fun rumors? I'm not allowed to listen to hearsay, but I can tell you a story Father told me. Some traveler swears there's a castle in the mountain pass not far from here, where mice built their own little kingdom. They're ruled by a brave and strong mouse king, who has a little graceful queen mouse. They're guarded by the mouse guard, and the kingdom is protected by an order of mice knights. I love imagining that place. It's so cute. Yeah, well, I butchered all of them, so... maybe it's not that cute. Alright, so their father's probably a crazy person. This is probably him right there. That's soap. List of victims. Alright, yes, I had a feeling. So is that the closet no one is allowed to go in? The drawers? Oh, let's take a look. List of victims. List of people killed by me. Konstantin Hemovsky, aka Kostya the Yob, from 1987 to 1994. People killed in combat situations are not in this list. To remember forever the terrible things I have done. Biryuchi settlement, 1 person, wealthy widow. Bolshevik village, 8 people, local people as a scare tactic, one of the murdered pregnant. Solnechi settlement, 1 person, local shepherd. Yeremeyevka village, 2 people, local miller and his wife. Stopinyansky village settlement, 10 people, locals as a scare tactic. Peshiny village, 2 people, merchant and witness. Krasny village, 3 people, horse groomer and 2 sons of his. Chinayevsky woods, 1 person. Abazan village, 13 people, locals, children as punishment for attempted revolt. Murny settlement, 5 people, locals for no reason. Oh, okay. Kalinka village, 11 people, locals, militiamen killed separately. Shrimkovo station, 2 people, watchman and his aide. Lujevoy village, 3 people, militia, Trudegrad tracked. Detective Maximov didn't want to do it but left no choice. I pray for every single one of them. I hope God will forgive me, but I know he won't. Kostya the Yob. I've heard this before, haven't I? That name? Sounds really familiar. A tall, muscular man looks at you calmly, without showing any of the usual fears some people have for strangers. He shakes your hand with his sturdy, leathery hand and asks calmly, "What brings you here, friend? Don't fret. I have nothing against guests. I just want to know who I'm dealing with." "I'm a simple adventurer. Yes, you're the owner of this land and this house?" "Right now it is so, but that house is older than the war. It was very weak, though, before I replaced half of it with new materials. The land was barren, too, until, with God's help, I revived it." "Ah, Nekrasov, the ugly, grotesque poet of Russian lands. How many writings you had about the women of Russia, strong and kind? Why didn't you write about alpha males like this one? About those who labor without getting tired, who fear God and love the earth?" "That's right, Grandpa." "I see. Well, I got it. Alright, I have a few questions." The man nods slowly. "In our day, only the bravest or the most desperate allow themselves to roam the wastes. I respect both of those features, so I answer your questions. Tell me about yourself." "What can I say? My name is Konstantin. For as long as God wills it, I will continue living in Fogelevka. I've grown to love this place, this land. I found my happiness here with Nuria. I gave a good childhood to Glasha. That is what I am most proud of. I won't tell you more. The rest of my life does not matter anymore." Tell me about this village." "The original Fogelevka was flooded after the war. You can see the roofs sticking out of the local lake. The settlement is quite new. Some of the houses were here when we came, but they were abandoned. The rest we built with our own hands. Life is modest but fair. For me, that's the main thing." What warm words. What do you do for a living?" "I have some money back from the times before I found God and family in this place. I'll earn more nowadays. The land feeds me and my family." Quite the lifestyle. Care to share some rumors?" "One man told me that in the mountain pass of Woes there's an ancient castle. Mutated mice built a whole kingdom there. He said a fat old mouse king sits in the throne room with a beautiful lady mouse at his side, and night mice, wearing rose-petal cloaks and wielding rapiers made of nails, are always at his command. Come Easter, the mice create jousting tournaments and hunt cats. In the cellar they have a huge library where gray-haired mice read old scrolls and write new ones using chicken feathers. I do know the castle he was talking about. That castle is ruled by some drunks and bandits, and there is no such thing as a mouse kingdom. It's just my luck. I'm always meeting crazy people like that one. Or was he simply drunk?" "Okay, how do you sleep at night after killing so many, Kostya the Yob?" The man's face doesn't change, he just sighs. "I sleep calmly, as God is my witness. Sometime when there's no work, I even sleep too much." "I won't judge you, but why are you so calm? I found out you're a killer, after all." The man sighs again and lowers his gaze. "Why shouldn't I be calm? My wife and daughter will never believe you. The neighbors won't believe you as well. My punishment will come eventually, and there is no running from it, since it will be delivered by God after I die. So why should I be worried? I'll live as a good man as much as I can, then I will face my eternal damnation. Now go. I accepted you as a guest, but you started searching through my stuff. That's not very nice of you. Also, you reminded me of my past, and I don't like that. So please, go with God. Don't mess with me any longer. Why, that's very logical. Sorry for talking about it. Okay. Oh, that's the red-haired guy I talked to earlier. Let's talk to these guards up here. They usually don't have a lot to say, but you never know. One might give me a quest. A Fogelevka guard looks to the dusty horizon, where the uneven trade route meets the sky. When he sees you, he nods and gets a better grip on his weapon. Not to scare you, but simply out of habit. Hey, you want something? Tell me about this village. Great place, Fogelevka. The calmest place under Krasno's control. What else can a man want? Well, more fun, I suppose. There's little of that. Maybe you can give me some advice? In my time, I've helped some doomed expeditions, and let me tell you this. If you're not completely sure you will succeed, just fall back. There's no shame in that. Know any rumors? Bandits are constantly attacking caravans on the big road of Paragon. Leaders of that place must be confused if they allow something like that to happen. Alright, well that wasn't super exciting. Excuse me. Youthful guard with good-looking beard looks at you with a friendly gaze. He then looks at his comrade on the tower and greets you with a smile. Hello, and welcome to Fogelevka. Tell me about this village. It's a nice place. When I was sent here from Krasno, I didn't think I'll grow so accustomed to the local sights. Even though there's shooting to be heard from time to time, the air is clean and the gals are pretty. I want to ask you for some advice. I don't even know. Merchants that go through Fogelevka to the Mountain Pass of Woes advised me to start trading. Has some sense to it if you want to get rich. Although capitalism came out of the evil of men's souls, some good can come of it. Just like some evil came from the good that was communism. Maybe you know some rumors. There's a rumor going around that people from Adam keep stashes and weapons long before the apocalypse. I don't believe it, though. If they had the weapons, they'd use them against us already. Alright, well that was super eye-opening. Alright, mister. A mustache man standing in front of you is slowly rolling a cigarette, shifting his weight from one foot to another. Jeez. He's clearly not in a hurry, as he enjoys the process of rolling more than the smoking itself. The man lifts his gaze to you and nods. Hello, boss. Feel like going for a ride? What do you mean with this going for a ride? The driver finally finishes rolling his cigarette. He licks the rolling paper to glue it together, but instead of lighting up, hides the cigarette in his pocket. I mean from Fogelevka to the Mountain Pass of Woes. I can give you a lift, but it will cost you, of course. Sounds interesting. What's your price? Well, seeing as how it is risky to take a passenger, the price I'm willing to offer you is 5,000. You won't find anybody who will drive you there for less. You won't be able to drive there yourself. That's a long way, and you don't know which turns to take. Hey brother, can I ask you for a favor? As a friend? Could you give me a discount? Fine, boss. Have it your way. I'll give you a discount. 3 grand. It's a good price. So what, is driving travelers around the only thing you do for a living? No. No way I could have made it this far doing only that. This is a part-time gig only. I'm a driver for the merchants. But enough about me. So what's it gonna be? 3 grand and off we go? Let's change the topic. Do you often take trips like this? Depends on the work. Sometimes there is work for me, sometimes there isn't. It depends on many things, like political situation, stability in the region, fuel prices, to name a few. Let's ask some questions. Sure, go ahead. Which part of the wasteland is better for living? The part near Fogelevka for sure. Life is calm and predictable here. Not that many gangsters around as well. When you hear shots fired in the forest, the first thought you get it must be hunters. And only then you think of all the murderers out there. It's not like this everywhere. How long have you been a driver for? Ever since my father put me behind a steering wheel to take a photo when I was 10 years old. But me, being the idiot that I am, pressed the clutch and stepped on the gas. I almost killed my old man that day. What can you tell me about Fogelevka? It's quite a nice place. Fresh air, clean water, nature is friendly. When the acorns from the local oaks start to be in season, my oh my, so juicy and nutritious. I haven't tried the acorns yet. Care to share some local gossip? The people are really nice here, but I'm especially fond of this one family of Constantine the village man. His wife is handy and brainy, good at trade and household chores. His daughter is a real beauty and seamstress. Her father is like a rock. There's nothing in this world that he couldn't do. He also is a gentle and kind person. I respect them. Okay, cool, so that's how we get to the mountain pass of woes. I wonder if this is where the herb healer is at then. Why can't I go in here? Uh-oh, I'm stuck. Alright, let me load my quick save real quick. I don't know what's going on. I can't move. There we go. Alright, so stealing is bad. I'm not going to try stealing again. Let's just talk to her. Healing powder. Your old woman greets you with a smile on her face. You immediately notice bunches of various herbs, roots, and whole threads with dry mushrooms tucked behind her belt. She's holding a large burdock leaf in her hand and using it as a fan and an umbrella at the same time. Okay. Welcome to Fogelevka. I'm a local herb healer. I can sell you some of my natural potions. But I really mostly wanted to talk to you about life. Fine, I can answer a couple of questions for you. How's life here in Fogelevka? Nothing much is happening around here. I'm selling all kinds of herbs and potions, and my husband is a hunter. Sometimes the caravans heading to the mountain pass of woes go through the village. Then we get to sell our goods to them in large quantities. That's about as exciting as it gets. Where do you people get your ingredients? The area around here is covered with forests and small swamps. You wouldn't believe how many different plants grow there. Ambrosia, horehound, gagia, goat's beard, fat hen, saltbush, and the list goes on. It's real nature's pharmacy. Have you heard any interesting rumors lately? People say that a team of unknown heroes has saved Olchanoye from the slave traffickers' raid. Just think about it. What it would have been like to have their base right next to our village if they had occupied Olchanoye. But that didn't happen. Is it dangerous here, around the village? Nah, since the government in Krasno took over the life here, it became pretty comfortable. Before that, the village was raided by thugs and extortionists almost daily. But now we even managed to save enough money to build a picket fence. I see. Alright, well, to be honest, I wanted to talk to you about an antidote from eternal sleep. The woman looks anxiously into your eyes, as if you have a fever. Eternal sleep? No, I'm afraid that even my potions can't cure death. I misspoke. There was just this one guy who took some drug and now he cannot wake up. Is he in a coma? Prolonged sleep paralysis? You say he took something nasty. Yes, most likely a hallucinogenic drug. Of course. In any other case, I would have prescribed a decoction of St. John's wort. But not in this case. You know what? We need to fight fire with fire. There are different psychedelics which could probably help him. However, I don't sell those. I only know of 2 people in the Waste who are capable of cooking up such a powerful psychedelic potion. Katya, who owns a tavern in Olchanoye, one of my suppliers, Nikita Konev, who I think lives in Paragon now. I know Katya personally, so I say there's no real point in talking to her. All of her potions turn out strong despite of rather than thanks to her work. And most importantly, she doesn't want people to think that she's pushing drugs. She always says that her main goal is to come up with a great liquor, not with a drug. However, this Nikita from Paragon, he has a completely different approach. If you want, you can buy some really powerful stuff from him. People say that he even knows how to whip up a potion for communicating with animals, although I personally don't believe it. But in any case, if there is someone who can help you find an antidote, it's going to be him. Thanks for the advice. Nikita Konev, you say? Yes, he's the one. Look for him in Paragon. Okay. Well, I have a couple of quests I need to do. And then I'll probably come back here to the Mountain Pass of Woes. There we go. Put more gas in there. I'm going to wait here until nighttime. Because there's that woman that left. As I was coming in. Is it still daytime? I raced it for 12 hours twice, and it was still daytime. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna run out of the village real quick until nighttime. That was weird. But yeah, there's that woman that was dressed all in black that walked out of the village when I first got here. I said it was too crowded during the day. So I'll try and talk to her at nighttime. And then next episode we'll go to like Paragon. Because I have 2 quests in Paragon. And I forgot where that other one takes me. I have to get to the Mount Pass of Woes as well. Whoa! Hey, we've been ambushed in a long time. Now, you're gonna need something better than a crossbow to fight me, though. Oh, it looks like he has a gun. Alright, divide and conquer, everybody. Show these thugs what's what. Sweet. More waste paper for Krasno. That waste paper quest really makes me wish I would have went to Krasno earlier. So I'm pretty sure I've had 500 waste paper that I've just sold nonchalantly throughout the game. Oh well, not a big deal. Alright, we'll go to Fogelevka now that it's nighttime and see if we can talk to that lady. So I waited for 12 hours there and I swear it didn't get dark, but maybe I needed to move around or something to trigger the night sequence. Who knows for sure? So I'm going to assume that she's in the tavern. Oh no, she's right there. Sweet. Let's go talk to her. Then I know I still need to do the pig thing in Ultra Noye. I might wait around in Ultra Noye off camera for a while. Wait, let me at least enter the bar. Okay, well, we'll wait for that then. So curious why I couldn't interact with this door and go in back here. I'll try it again after I talk to this lady. Alright, you're in. Let's talk. You punk. Hi, personality. A dark-haired woman in a hat watches your every movement with a sneer. When you come closer, she gives a barely perceptible nod and says, "Another traveler in this lands. Come closer, don't be shy. Let's chat. This place feels so boring at times." You don't look like the local. What do you do here? The woman grins and winks at you. Aren't you smart? True. I'm not from here. I'm not from around here. I'm here, for business matters. Checking how natural is the way the things are done here? What? Literally. Won't tell you a word more. I understand that I haven't understood a thing you've just said. Tell me more, I beg you. At first the woman rolls her eyes, but then grins and nods in agreement. Aren't you a curious little guy? But okay, I'm not going to tell you more than you have to know anyway. It might seem stupid to you, taking into consideration the scale of the ecological disaster, but nature has in fact benefited from the war. There are fewer people now, all industry has disappeared. At last, the forests have a chance to retrieve the territories yielded to people and technological progress. I travel across the region and monitor the process, and also look for settlements that have developed to a degree where they might start another genocide of trees. Why are trees so important to you? Woman just shrugs mysteriously. To me personally, they're not important at all. My god loves thick, unkempt forests, long walks among centuries-old oaks, intertwined so tightly that their leaves hide the sky from view. Nature is the Black Goat's temple. Oh boy. So, we've had a few references to the Black Goat, and none of them have been good, because I think the Black Goat was even referenced when we summoned that thing from the Stone Circle in Ultranoye. The Cthulhu. Man, okay. The more such places there are in the world, the stronger he is. What can you do to punish those who exploit nature? The girl comes so close to you, you feel her warm breath on your neck. There's a village in the north. Its residents restored a sawmill. I poisoned their wells and hid in the forest. Those who followed me to punish will never return home. Will never see their children again. Okay, you travel alone? Aren't you afraid? I'm just getting experience for all this. This is cool. She who travels in the shade of the black forest goat is afraid of nothing. Ia? I don't know. The Great Mother protects her herd. Rangers, seasoned gangsters, even mercenaries followed me. No one could find as much as my footprint. What they all found was their death. You're creepy. Let's change the subject. Well, let's ask some questions. Okay, ask if you want. Does she sell anything? No. What is your name? Not going to tell you. Don't have this stupid habit of telling my name to each and every person around. If you want to address me, you can use my cover name. The girl takes an old shabby pre-war passport out of her pocket and reads aloud. Dana Evgenievna Shustrova. Wow, so mysterious. What do you do? Only people who lack will and imagination work to get money. I'm happy with what I can get from the world for free. Such a tough cookie you are. What can you tell me about this place? For now, I'm content. There are different people here, simple and less so. Not the worst, that's for sure. And they let nature take control. I wouldn't want to live here. And they let nature take control. I wouldn't want to live here, of course. It's boring. It's missing some punctuation. Yeah, this is not the liveliest of places. Heard any good rumors lately? Not only heard, I've seen them. In the center of Krasno lives a follower of my, religion. Third generation at least. Her grandmother was a follower too, and maybe it goes even deeper than that, but she's an atheist. She only remembers one time when she participated in one of our rituals as a child, and she thinks it a mere superstition, or doesn't understand it. It happens. Some people are offered the truth since birth, yet they turn away. Humans are idiots. The other person's mind is a mystery. So is there nothing else I can do with her? Okay. Let's go and try and break into the back again. What are you doing back there, Hexogen? Alright. We'll try this one more time and then we'll call it an episode. In the next one we will go back to Paragon? Yeah, I still can't get in there. Alright, well I'm calling it here. Again, next episode we'll meet in Paragon. I'll continue those quests. 2 quests in Paragon, 1 at the old accident. And then we have to go to the Mountain Pass of Woes anyway. So we'll either go there or to the Dead City. I don't know which direction I want to go in first. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see y'all in the next episode.